The NBA is not just a place of athletic prowess, it's a melting pot of raw emotions, deep-seated rivalries, and unforgettable moments. Today, we're diving into some of the most heated moments in NBA history. But first, don't forget to like and subscribe. LeBron James is such a dominant force to the paint that he gets fouled almost every time. While in a primetime regular season game between the Celtics and the Lakers, the game was tied with just a few seconds remaining. So LeBron went to his unstoppable move, driving to the paint, but he actually missed the layup and the official did not see a foul. LeBron went crazy, furious at the fact that a foul had not been given and the game was going to overtime. I mean, if you look at the replay, it certainly looks like Jason Tatum gets a big hand on LeBron's arm as he's trying to shoot. LeBron probably would have been even more mad when karma did not work out for him and the Celtics won the game in overtime. LeBron has also been the target of some heated moments. In a game against the Pistons, LeBron and Isaiah Stewart were trying to get position after a free throw. What happened was LeBron actually threw an elbow at Stewart that the officials didn't pick up at the time. So the Pistons man decided to take justice into his own hands, frantically trying to get to LeBron while knocking over people as he goes. The blood streaming down Stewart's face made the scene even more like something from a movie. Stewart literally had to be carried off the court by multiple different guys. You can tell Stewart was heated. It is not just the big guys in the NBA who can get too hot sometimes. The rivalry between Rajon Rondo and CP3 could be an entire video in itself. But it did look like the rivalry had cooled down when their two teams met in 2022. After some pushing and shoving between Brandon Ingram and James Harden, it looked like everything had cooled. But that's when CP3 and Rondo started talking, and eventually CP3 put his hands in Rondo's face. The two then traded punches before they were separated. I don't know what was said between the two teams, but security even had to get involved and stop the two teams from fighting. Maybe all those punches thrown had something to do with Floyd Mayweather sitting courtside. But I don't think Floyd would have been too proud with the accuracy of those punches. While it was not too difficult for players to separate CP3 and Rondo, separating two of the league's biggest players is pretty difficult. Well, that was a task in the regular season game between the Sixers and the Timberwolves. The two players got tangled up and started pushing each other even after the ball was down the other end of the court. They eventually took each other down while everyone tried their best to separate two 7-foot athletes who were scrapping on the floor. That is an almost impossible task, although Ben Simmons did the best defensive work we've ever seen. He was able to hold Cat down, although the headlock might have been a little bit too far. Understandably, both players were ejected from the game and tensions cooled a little bit after that. A lot of the time, NBA players think they can fight, when really they can't. Well, Jordan Clarkson certainly thought he could fight in the dying seconds against the Warriors. Clarkson had his game-tying shot blocked by Jonathan Kuminga and was not happy about it at all. He grabbed Kuminga pretty violently and the two exchanged a few words at the same time. Something that Kuminga said clearly got under Clarkson's skin because the Jazz guard squared up to Kuminga like he was in a boxing ring. Thankfully for all involved, we did not get a chance to take a look at the boxing talent of Clarkson as the officials got in between the two and stopped what would probably have been an embarrassing fight. While they might be best friends on the NBA on TNT now, did you know that Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal had some very heated moments in their NBA careers? In a 1999 game between the Lakers and the Rockets, Barkley and Shaq were battling against each other in the paint. After a foul, Shaq kept on trying to block Chuck's shot well after the whistle and then pushed the Rockets man. Well, Barkley did not like that, chucking the ball at Shaq's head, which started a massive fight between the two. Thankfully for Barkley's chin, Shaq's massive first swing missed, but the two continued to scrap on the floor before being broken up by both teams. While Shaq was the way bigger dude out of the two, Barkley did unleash a beautiful takedown on Shaq. You can see why the two of them are always making fun of each other today. They hated each other in their playing days. Things can get heated in NBA games when there's nothing on the line. In fact, this next heated moment happened in a preseason game. That's right, a preseason game. The Kings and the Lakers had an intense 2002 Conference Finals matchup, and the two teams faced each other in the preseason of the following year. In just the first quarter, an elbow from Lakers guard Rick Fox sent Kings man Doug Christie to the floor. When Christie stood up, Fox only made things worse by pushing him in the face. Well, Christie certainly got his revenge, unleashing a textbook uppercut onto the bottom of Fox's chin. The two players were separated before they could fight anymore. Doing this 2 minutes into a preseason game is absolutely insane from both of these guys. When we talk about heated NBA moments, you have to mention the malice in the palace. It is the most heated moment in NBA history. After some pushing and shoving between the Pacers and the Pistons, the officials were able to calm everybody down and separate the two teams. Pacers player Ron Artest was lying on the scorer's table after the incident when a Pistons fan threw a drink that hit Artest. Well, it infuriated Artest and he launched himself over the scorer's table and up into the crowd. It led to multiple players getting into the crowd and attacking some of the fans. It was an absolutely insane incident which left a few people injured. Artest was banned a record 86 games by the NBA for starting the massive brawl between the two teams. Steven Jackson was similarly banned for 30 games after also charging into the crowd and punching a fan. It was a truly insane incident which we have never seen the likes of since. In the NBA, not even your own teammates could be safe. The Minnesota Timberwolves did not have the 2022-23 season they were hoping for, and it did not look like the team had much chemistry. In a regular season game, Rudy Gobert and Kyle Anderson were arguing during a timeout. Things got very heated with Gobert leaning over and punching Anderson in the chest. Clearly not wanting the fight, Gobert quickly shuffled backwards after the punch. With most of the Timberwolves bench having to hold Anderson back, things calmed down between the two teammates. But getting that heated in a timeout with your teammate is probably not the best recipe for success in the NBA. Players can not only get annoyed with the other team or their own teammates, but have taken their frustrations out on the officials before. Steph Curry is usually one of the cooler characters in the NBA, but he was furious at this no call against the Grizzlies. Steph was probably quite frustrated that the Warriors were down 10 points to the Grizzlies with less than a minute remaining. In fact, he was so annoyed that after a no call, Steph did what he has done before and took out his mouthpiece and this time threw it in the direction of the official. This is definitely something that you cannot do in the NBA, even if you're annoyed about a no call. Understandably, Steph was ejected from the game and KD decided to say something to the referee and would be ejected with him. Simple rule, don't throw your mouthpiece at an official. So, what do you think is the most heated moment in NBA history? Why not put your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.